Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about the Tragopan V6 blind. If you're not interested in watching me talk about this blind, I will leave a timestamp in the descriptions down below where you can find a small list of my pros and cons with this blind. So yeah, and if you want to listen to me talk about this blind, keep on watching. And if you like this video, if you like this review, if you like this format of this video, please leave a like. It would highly help me out. The more likes a video gets, the more recommended the video will be through YouTube's algorithm. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and why not subscribe? So yeah, Tragopan V6. This is the new color scheme of 2020, and I really like it. It blends in nicely with the environment which we have here in southern Sweden. Everything from lush greens to the dull browns and grays we have in winter, and occasionally we get some snow as well, and I think this blind blends in very nicely with that. So I reached out to Tragopan to basically ask them to lend me a blind to try out for a couple of weeks, because pop-up hide are something new to me. I have the Hokki V2, but I really like the low angle photography, and with this hide you're sitting up and it's more comfortable than standing around. And for me, I wanted to try it out to see if I could have any use for it, for the type of photography I do, and for the most important part, to get out of bad weather. Tragopan offered me a 50% off of this blind in return for a review, so here we are. But my opinion is my own. I will be truthful to my own opinion about this blind, and I can say right now that there are a few things I would tweak if I was a blind designer. So keep on watching if you're interested in that. So when we receive the blind, it comes in this very nice carrying bag, and the bag and its content weighs 3.3 kilos, so it's not that heavy, and the bag itself makes it very nice to carry or to strap it on your shoulders or on your back. So the blind itself costs around 230 euros. It's not that expensive. So when you're opening this blind up, you will have the blind itself nicely foldable. You will have a lens barrel thingy protection for lens, which I don't typically use. More on that later. And you also get a small bag with some pegs and guidelines to secure the tent or the blind in bad weather, basically. Also on the inside of this bag you have instructions on how you set up the blind and how you disassemble the blind, basically. So to set up the blind, it's super easy. All you need to do is to untangle the fabric from the legs. You brace your hand against the frame itself, and then you just pull these toggles here. It might need some force to pop it open, but it's super easy to do. And once it's open, it doesn't come apart. The blind is constructed in a way that allows you to basically photograph from every angle inside this blind. You have these windows on each side of the blind, so you can either put your lens just through here. I typically use these barrels as a lookout hole, but you can easily fold it up like this. And on the inside, it's hard to see, but we have some toggles here, which basically allows you to raise the window and secure them up so they aren't in the way of your lens and in the way of your viewing experience. Below this window we have another option to open up for maybe a tripod leg to go out, or if you want to use this blind as a ground blind, you can easily open this one up and just put out your lens and curl up inside this blind and photograph away. I typically just use it as a way to put out my tripod, so the tripod doesn't take up all the space inside the blind. So as you can see, on every leg portion of the blind you have these small toggles here. These are for the guidelines. So you secure your lines into this and you secure them down to the ground, and it's nice and sturdy. On top of the blind we have this roof. This comes separately inside a case as well, but I always keep it attached to the blind itself. It has some velcros here for some quick and easy attachment. Just secure it down. But if it's windy, there are also a zipper to really secure it down to the blind. As I said, I always keep mine attached to the blind, and whenever I'm vlogging or whenever it's hot inside the blind, I just unfold it to let some air circulation inside the blind, but also some light for vlogging. On two sides of the blind you have these two ventilation holes. You can close them up if you want. If it's really cold and you don't want to have some circulation, you want to keep the warmth inside, there are a zipper on the inside which you can close. But if you want some circulation and ventilation, just keep them open. This is a small stick of some sort with a velcro, which are attached to the velcro on the inside of this ventilation here, just to keep it open. So the fabric itself are waterproof, and on the inside of the blind you have this reflective material. This allows the blind to keep cool whenever it's hot, or to keep some of the heat inside the blind whenever it's cold. I really like it. I really like the fabric. It's not noisy at all, and it has a nice quality feel about it. So yeah. So there are a few clips on the inside, except the ones that secures the window, and I think those are for some add-ons, which I think Tragopan sells separately, like a skirmish net or something like that. I have a big skirmish net which I just tie to the frame and just let it drape over the lens and camera. That way it will conceal my movements and my face. Since I'm quite pale, I will lit up if I have the blind placed in direct sunlight. So that will conceal my movement, my face, but also allows me to have a good look on what's going on the outside of the blind as well. Other than that, you have a few pockets. You have one here. I think this is for accessories like teleconverter, your phone, or etc. You have a small pocket up here which are for the cord, the one you pull when you're popping up the blind. So that's nice. And here on the inside you can also see the zipper for the ventilation. Yeah, I think that's about it. basically. As I said, every window has this type of toggles to basically open up the windows. This way you can let in more light, or you can choose whichever you want to face when you're inside the hide. I typically just keep them down, and I use this hole here to keep a track on what's going on the outside. So yeah, I really like it. It's nice, it's affordable, it's quite lightweight. So yeah, I really like it, to be honest. There are a few things which I think could be tweaked. So if I were a blind designer, from my point of view, there are a few things which I would consider changing in a future version of this blind, or in another version. And this is my opinion only. This might not apply to your needs, but they do certainly apply to my needs. And I like to watch every second on what's going on the outside of the blind. So what I would love to have is a bigger window, a big, large panoramic window. And I think Tragopan could still use this window flap here and still pull off a larger window. I would probably say a good 15 centimeters on each side. Extend those, because whenever you're using these windows or these small holes here as a lookout point, then you will have a big blind spot here, and that will conceal everything that's going on that side of the pole. I don't really like it. So if Tragopan watches this, that's something I would highly recommend doing. And I will also, like, I don't care about these windows or that window or the window behind me. Like, if I'm sitting on a chair, how could I be possibly photographing backwards? Like, yeah, it makes no sense. So big panoramic window, lose that one maybe. Same on this. This could be larger. I'm just saying, this could be a big panoramic. Like, you can do from this line here, you can open it up here, make a big panoramic window, so you can keep track on what's going on the outside. Maybe do them in mesh and keep this as a weatherproofing solution. And what else? And I think that would be a big advantage using these blinds. And I've been using this quite some times now, photographing road airs and trying to photograph moose. And I think I keep doing like this, sitting in the blind like this, instead of just being able to sit still and don't have to move around, because the movement are more obvious than you. Is that right? So when you're out photographing, most animals won't see you. They won't notice you if you're standing still. But as soon as you start moving around, same inside the blind, they will notice you. So yeah, big panoramic window. I think it's doable. It's not too hard. I might do it myself, actually. So yeah, other than that, I really like it. This reflective material in the inside do keep some heat inside the blind, so that's nice. So yeah, that's about it. So the best thing with Tragopan is that they have the greatest solution to assemble and disassemble your hides. What you do is to push down on the frame itself and the blind will collapse. it's super easy. Then it's all about folding the blind. And the way I do it, I tend to pull the legs apart and just push it down like this. And fold it upwards like this, and then the way you fold the last leg part, which could be quite hard for some, me included, is that you need to pull the leg itself to detach it from this socket here, so you can easily fold it like this. And once you have done it with all the 4 legs, it's just to roll it up and put it back in its case. So once it's in the bag, it's just close it up and you're ready to go. That's the Tragopan V6 with a new 2020 color scheme. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and why not subscribe to my channel? So yeah, have a nice one, and see you on the next one. Bye.